quarterback situation, Coach?
Yeah, Casey's gotten better, a lot better, and then Logan and Chubb have I see a little more confidence in those guys from playing last week, just handling things better, so that's promising.
So is it kind of one of three to go right now?
Yeah. I mean, just see where everybody's at tomorrow afternoon, and that way. So, Casey's played enough that you can get a guy ready in a little bit. He's mentally there. He's been in the meetings and done some stuff. So, and the two other guys got some game action. So, I feel better about it than.
Casey thrown today?
It was not really, but he's out there. So.
How much does Casey push to get out there? Is he kind of in your ear about it, or?
I mean, as I said to you earlier, I'm not a doctor, so I don't. I've been around enough that way that I don't mess with it. So that's Mark and the doctors and everything else. But yeah, he's been in the meetings, he's done everything. So.
What are those decisions like on game day, sort of in real time, or is that your kind of decisions at the doctors? Is that talk with Mickey?
Yeah, I don't. As I said, I don't. If somebody's hurt, I never would play a guy. And I did once when I was at UMass, and it was a mistake. Where he was a little groggy, and it's like, hey, for a series, and I went like, you're not right, and he said, yeah, so. And I was there when Colt McCoy got hurt on a Thursday night when Silverback James Harrison hit him, and then he went into the game and didn't, and that's when that whole thing. But we don't ever want anybody to ever do something that'll harm them. That's not, whether it's the NFL or here. I've never seen anything like that, So yeah, if they're hurt, they're hurt. They're tough guys. Play at this level. You got to be a tough guy. So have a lot of respect for the players, and certainly have a lot of respect for the doctors.
Mickey said you got to put your arms around those backup quarterbacks and tell them you believe in them. What's sort of been your message to them? What's your message to those guys this week? And,
it's a marriage.
Yeah.
I don't hug my wife all the time, and I don't hug those guys all the time. So, but sometimes you got to get a message across, and they've been really good. They've been really good. We have a good room, and those guys have been a lot of fun to be around. I've seen them grow, and I've seen them take steps forward. So, this is the biggest step of their career, and going into Michigan's not an easy task. I haven't been there, but I've been enough other places. So, they're all that they, what's written about them is all. You just got to watch the tape. So that obviously this kind of game, you probably don't have to. You hope that you don't have to try to motivate somebody as much. You put the tape on, you watch their numbers, you look at how they play, and they're fast and they're physical, and they have a solid scheme they believe in, and playing with a lot of confidence. So we got to far and away put our best game together on offense. And probably the disappointing thing last week was the drop balls in crucial situations that cost us points. And if we do that, we won't have a chance. But if we execute and operate at a good level, then we'll have a chance to see where this thing goes.
When you look back at that game against Minnesota, was there anything you would have done differently if you evaluated?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you lose, you say, should have called this, maybe here. The interception was, it was a play we talked about, and that one hurt. But, we talked to the guys. We drop the ball in crucial situations. We left points on the board, and, we had – if we catch the last one, hey, we got 1:10 on the 30-yard line, and with a chance to win the game. And I'd take that this week. So in this, with your backup quarterback. So that's a credit to the defense and the special team and the whole team. And it's got to be a team effort. And I don't think we've played our best as a team, looking at the whole thing but we got to play our best game on offense. And I said the experience of being out there, it's all good when you're in practice and those things, but I can remember, it's like, Ben Roethlisberger started, was Rookie of the Year, and came to me on the sideline after the first series of the Super Bowl and said, wow, man, it's this fast. So it's probably going to be the same thing in Michigan, so you want to make sure the guys are confident and you give them something that they feel good about. And we talk in between series all the time anyways.
If you wanted to see a little more consistency out of Logan in practice, I only asked that because Mickey kind of hinted at that maybe he'd been more of a gamer or whatever you want to say.
Well, tell Mickey he should be at the defensive side more. No, he really had his best week of practice, and both those guys have had their best week this week. Chuba's been a lot more consistent throughout, but I told that to Logan. I said I had a lot of respect for you. It's not easy to maybe start a game and be third, but he stepped up during practice and he's continued that, and he's certainly been around here longer than Chuba has. But all the guys both those guys have gotten great support from their teammates. There hasn't been any word that way. It's we'll just see how we go on that part. There's certain plays that Logan does a little bit better than Chuba, and certain things Chuba does. So we just see how it is. Really, I don't make those decisions really till Friday, till I see the guys that way. And the plan doesn't change, but they each have a set of plays. The same with the running backs that way.
Maybe said he talked to you about maybe being more satisfied with a 3 or 4 yard run and playing more Big Ten football. What do you think of that sentiment, and how would that conversation go?
It still comes down to you got to score more points. I would have been satisfied if we won 21-20, or, I don't really care if we win 3-2. It doesn't, that way. So whatever gives us the best chance. But you got to look at the scoreboard and play it off the way it was that way. We weren't as aggressive in the end of the half last week. Up 10-0, said, hey, we want to get out of here. Minute 30. That's one of those things. If you have Casey there against Purdue, we went 30 seconds and went down the field. So that comes down to your personnel and where you're at by looking at the scoreboard. Now, if we're down 20-10, then you're probably going to go for some things that way. But that's always the way it plays out. Same with score on whether what's your third down call, and do you have 2 plays, and are you going to go for it on 4th down? Are you going to take a shot, or what are you going to do with those things? So that all comes into, and each game's its own story. That's the beauty of football, that we don't know what's going to happen, and you see what lays on the table, and then you make decisions off of those things and your personnel.
Hey Mark, what's your reaction? Do you see you guys are 28, 29 point underdogs, and has there been a moment in your career that is comparable to that?
That's the first time I don't ever look at that. I lost $60 when I was a freshman at Brown and never gambled since. So I got smart that way. But yeah, I coached at UMass. We played Florida. We played at Mississippi State. We played at South Carolina. So I don't ever look at it, and I know how good Michigan is, and I know how good we can be, and you just want to put your best foot forward in that. And I told the players, I told the kids, I don't know how I came across it, but Ronnie Brown and I were together, and in 1983 I was the receiver coach at Brown University, and we had scheduled a game against Penn State, and they were the defending national champion. Obviously, Joe Paterno was a Brown grad, but we'd lost to Harvard, and it was 17-7, I believe. Played terrible. And we had to take a bus and go to Penn State in front of 80,000. Those kids had never played, those years played 25,000. And it was the time of my coaching career I said that, why are we playing this game? We got no shot. And the game ended up being 38-21. We had more yards, ran for 310 yards, and from that point on, so never say never. So I told the players that, hey, we got a great opportunity. And that's what it is. We're Division I, and we got a chance, and that's all you ask for.
Have you crossed paths with Harbaugh in your coaching career at all?
Yeah, he came out to camp. I know John better since I was with all those years. He was with the Ravens. I was with the Steelers, and I'd see him. Jim came to camp at UMass. We had some players there, and so that way, and I've talked to him a couple times. I've seen him around, but I know John a little bit better than I do Jim, so, that way.
Okay.
Hey, great. Okay, see you now.
Thank you.